On June 9, 2026, Martin Amaewhule, Speaker of the Rivers State House of Assembly and a 15-year political loyalist of Wike, won the APC primary for OBO/ACPA federal constituency with 17,968 votes. He was the sole aspirant. He thanked God, then posted on Facebook, "I lack enough words to express my gratitude to my political leader, His Excellency Ezebunwo Wike Con, for his fatherly role in my political career all these years." 12 days later, the Court of Appeal voided the entire primary structure that produced that ticket. Amaewhule is not merely a casualty of the Bekweri ruling. He is its most symbolically exposed figure, not simply Wike's ally, but Wike's instrument. He is the speaker who attempted to impeach Fubara, the lawmaker who defected from the PDP with 16 colleagues in December 2025, the man whose ticket Wike personally engineered, and which a court has now declared void, a court that Wike's own NWC ignored for 18 months. Most coverage of this story is focused on Chinda. Chinda is the headline. Amaewhule is the story, because Amaewhule is where Wike's political control over Rivers State actually lives. The career and the machine. Martin Amaewhule has represented OBO/ACPA constituency 1 since 2011. He has never held political office independent of Wike's machine. His rise has been coextensive with Wike's dominance of Rivers State politics, and his own words confirm it. When he called the relationship fatherly, he was not being sentimental. In Rivers State political terms, that language means decisions about when to move, which party to join, and which fights to pick are made above him. From late 2023 through 2025, Amaewhule's assembly was the instrument through which Wike sought to neutralize Governor Fubara. In October 2023, a fire at the assembly complex preceded an impeachment attempt. In December 2023, Amaewhule and 27 lawmakers defected from the PDP to the APC, producing conflicting court rulings on the assembly's own legitimacy. The Tinubu brokered peace deal that followed imposed extraordinary conditions on Fubara, budget resubmission, withdrawal of court cases, formal recognition of Amaewhule as Speaker. In exchange, the impeachment threat was suspended, not withdrawn. The Assembly remained the standing weapon that kept Fubara's governorship constrained through 2024 and 2025. The 2025 defection, the bet and its premise. On December 5, 2025, Amaewhule stood in the Assembly chamber and told his colleagues, "APC is now my party." 16 lawmakers followed. This was a calculated bet premised on one assumption, that Wike's APC chapter under Okocha was legally secure enough to conduct the 2026 primaries and build the full 2027 electoral architecture. Amaewhule did not defect as a free agent. He defected as part of a coordinated operation whose machinery was the Okocha-led APC structure. That machinery was voided by the Court of Appeal on May 29, 2026. The Bekweri ruling, the scope of what was voided. The ruling invalidated all actions taken by the Okocha-led APC executive between December 20, 2024 and May 29, 2026. That window covers the governorship primary that produced Chinda's ticket. It covers the House of Representatives primaries that produced Amaewhule and every other pro-Wike candidate across Rivers State's 13 federal constituencies. It covers the Assembly Screening Committee that disqualified all 32 Fubara-aligned aspirants and cleared all 29 pro-Wike sitting members. This is not a single voided ticket. It is an entire political architecture, governorship, federal legislative, state legislative, simultaneously invalidated. The Okocha faction has not conceded, pointing to a Rivers State High Court ruling of March 23, 2026, that dismissed a challenge to their leadership on jurisdiction and merit. The Bekweri faction counters that the May 29 ruling destroyed the foundational congresses on which the Okocha executive rests. The APC's NWC has issued no definitive statement. Until it does, the Rivers APC exists in dual legitimacy, 2 factions, 2 court orders, each operating as if the other does not legally exist. Amaewhule's specific exposure. Amaewhule's situation is more acute than most of Wike's allies for 3 reasons. First, he won his ticket in Obio/Akpa, Chinda's seat. The succession plan required Chinda to move to the governorship, while Amaewhule took the House of Representatives seat he vacated. With both tickets voided, any fresh primary runs under the Dakuku structure, which is aligned with Amaechi, not Wike. That is not a guaranteed Amaewhule victory. Second, he is publicly and irrevocably Wike's man. He said so on Facebook. In a political environment where Wike's legal infrastructure has been partially voided, that identification is not a credential, it is a target. Third, and this is what mainstream coverage is missing, the Dakuku faction is not a procedural reform movement. It is publicly aligned with Rotimi Amaechi, Wike's most consequential political enemy. Their war for Rivers State has been running since 2015. The Dakuku-Okocha dispute is that same war transposed into a party leadership battle. When the Court of Appeal validated the Bekweri position, it handed Amaechi-aligned forces legitimate control over the APC machinery in Rivers State, the very machinery Wike used to constrain Fubara. That is the war beneath the war, and Amaewhule is sitting at the intersection of both. Who benefits and what Wike's silence reveals. Fubara benefits without doing anything. The assembly used as the instrument of his persecution is now legally contested at the level of its own ticket validity. A weakened Amaewhule is a weakened impeachment threat. Amaechi benefits structurally. Fresh primaries under the Bekweri structure produce candidates from his alignment, not Wike's. That is a transfer of power achieved through the courts. The PDP benefits from a contested assembly majority. It can challenge more effectively. Wike's public response to all of this has been silence. 5 words on Chinda's ticket, nothing on Amaewhule, nothing on the assembly slate. He has redirected attention to INEC's July candidate list, wagering the NWC ratifies the Okocha nominations before the publication deadline. 2 readings exist. Either Wike is fighting through back channels and does not need to speak publicly, or he has deprioritized Amaewhule and the assembly tickets in favor of concentrating political capital on the governorship. In Nigerian political hierarchies, the practical difference between being deprioritized and being abandoned is often negligible. The speakership, the sleeper consequence. The most underreported consequence of the Bekweri ruling is what it does to the speakership. Amaewhule's hold on the speaker's chair has survived 2 years of legal challenge because his assembly majority remained aligned. If fresh primaries under the Bekweri structure produce a different APC slate, the arithmetic changes. A new majority can elect a new speaker. The impeachment machine aimed at Fubara for 2 years can be dismantled not by court order, not by Abuja, but by who controls 17 of 32 assembly seats. The counter-argument holds. Amaewhule's speakership does not depend on his 2027 ticket. He holds it as Speaker of the 10th Assembly elected in 2023. Removing him requires a specific court order addressing the speakership or a majority vote of members. Neither has occurred. His position is constitutionally stronger than anything the Bekweri ruling directly addresses. 3 signals to watch. The NWC statement. If the NWC ratifies the Okocha slate within 21 days of the ruling, Wike wins. If it orders fresh primaries, he rebuilds from scratch. Any hedging language signals the presidency is managing the crisis rather than resolving it. Assembly floor crossings. Watch for the first defection from Amaewhule's bloc back to the PDP or toward Fubara. That is the leading indicator that the political arithmetic is shifting. Whether Amaewhule speaks, he has said nothing publicly since his ticket was voided. If he breaks that silence to defend the Okocha primaries, it signals confidence in the NWC. If he stays silent, it signals he is waiting for instruction, and that instruction has not arrived. On May 17, 2026, Amaewhule won his ticket and called Wike his father. 12 days later, the court said the ticket was never valid. Wike has not defended it. He has not spoken about the assembly primaries. He has pointed to July. Empires do not crack when they lose court rulings. They crack when the people inside them begin calculating whether the cost of loyalty still justifies the return. Amaewhule has not said a word. That silence is the most important political signal coming out of Port Harcourt right now. You now know the war beneath the war.